What's up? Welcome to the Pretty Decent Podcast, the podcast that barely meets expectations. My name is Javier, and I'll be your host. So relax, grab some snacks, and enjoy. All right, now let's get to the episode. Okay, this time I'm recording during the day, so the train already passed by. We should be fine. Everything should be good. And yeah, let's do this. Also, I'm recording on Sunday because some stuff happened and I wasn't able to record on Saturday. But here we are, we're still gonna do it. We're gonna have fun. But yeah, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Pretty Decent. If you're brand new, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I hope you have fun, laugh a little, relax a little. And if you're coming back, welcome back. I'm glad you're back. It's a privilege, that you allow me to come back into your life. And yeah, before I get started, check out the socials on the description, and I believe it should be also on Spotify, and I know for sure on YouTube, but in Spotify, check out the socials, support the podcast, support your boy, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, turn on that bell notification, just do the typical YouTuber stuff and support your boy. It would really mean a lot to me. And yeah, I don't know. It's weird recording during the day. There's a lot more light coming in, so I'm not tired. And also, I didn't run today because I got injured yesterday, and it's just really messed up my entire mood. But here we are, We're going to make the most out of it. Are you kidding? I think at this point, I'm going to start putting on the title, featuring the 3 p.m. train or something like that. Because every time, at night, I know at what time it typically goes through. In the mornings, it's typically at 6 a.m. because every time I'm waking up, it just passes by. It's just so annoying. And I feel like that's the one thing I hate about where I live. It's just at my house is right next to the train tracks. So, the entire house shakes, and I'm just trying to hold the walls and everything. Cause who knows? I'm glad that, I have a mirror right here. And if that were to fall down, I don't know what would happen. It wouldn't be good, but hey, it was thrifted. So, but anyway, welcome back, guys. It was I don't know how to start this episode. Let's just say that it was a very interesting week from the very beginning. It was just, how do I explain it? It was just terrible. I'm just gonna be quite honest with you guys. It was terrible. It was awful. So pretty much, last Sunday when I was editing the episode that was released last week, so episode 52, when I was editing and everything, I was, being a magician behind the computer and putting in all of the effects of the moving the screen and the pictures and all that stuff. And I set my computer down and I'm typing out the title because I'm very OCD when it comes to punctuation and capitalization and all that stuff. So I have this site that typically you select if you want MLA, APA, whatever, however you want to use whatever titling, capitalization stuff. And so I'm I put in the title. I think it was The Bachelor is Stupid, I Love It. So I'm typing it and then I click enter, because typically when you click enter, it copies the text and then it's copied to your clipboard. As soon as I click enter, my entire screen goes blue and it just starts shading into light blue, and it just says be safe. And I'm and like a little, I believe it was like a little skull was showing up on like the bottom right corner of my screen, and I'm like, what's going on? Like, is it a virus? And I'm just like, I thought I had an antivirus on my computer. And then I don't know if it's because the laptop that I have is one of those laptops that pretty much just like you can bend it. Is it 360? If it goes, yeah, you can turn it around 360 degrees, and there's like a plastic thing on the bottom of the screen where the joints, are they called joints? Yeah, the joints are. And one of them came loose. So I haven't been able to close my computer probably for like a week and a half, because every time I try to close it, it snaps, and like there are components in there. And I'm just like, I don't want to break it, because if I break it, then I have to get a new one. And if I'm in like this, like the waiting period, then I won't be able to record and like all that stuff. Because like everything, like this computer is fundamental to the show. If I don't have a laptop, y'all are going to go sad, and you're going to be very sad because there won't be no video. The audio, I can figure it out, but there won't be any video. There won't be any cool effects or anything like that. So, and also there's a lot of important documents here. So I can't afford to like not have a laptop. And I don't want to spend money on a new laptop because like I don't even use this laptop for work. This is just for the podcast and like my personal laptop. So, and I don't want to take it to Best Buy, because if I take it to Best Buy, knowing how capitalist America is, they're probably going to charge me like $500 just to fix that little hinge. And I'm just like, you know what? Like, nah, I'm just going to make a lot of excuses, and then I'm like, and then end up paying it regardless. But yeah, so then like I'm just like freaking out, and I'm like, what do I do? Because I'm like, this is the first time that this happens to me. And then like I just like restart the laptop, and then like everything is fine, and I'm like, okay. So now I'm just like, I'm never gonna use that site ever again. I'm just like, and like the thing was like, it was so reliable. Like I had been using it probably since I was still in school when I started using it. I think I started using it a year ago in January, and it was very reliable, and like I hadn't had any issues. And now it's like, now I have to figure out how to properly capitalize stuff without a website, which is very sad, because I feel like the more I've been becoming an adult, my grammar has just become a lot worse. But hey, that's just how it is. Stress, it's just catching up to me. But yeah, so like I figured out the whole laptop stuff, and I'm like, okay, we're not gonna touch anything. We're just gonna do the typical stuff. So I'm just like, uploading the episode and everything, and it's loading, and I'm like, okay, everything is fine. We're not gonna touch the screen. We're just gonna, use the keyboard, and then that's it. Like, not even gonna touch the laptop. That's just gonna be here. And then after the whole chaos with the laptop that night, I realized I needed to go run some errands to just, I don't remember what I needed to buy. Oh, the infamous soy sauce. I needed to get some soy sauce. So I'm like, okay, let me get to my car. And if you didn't know, right now in the Midwest is freaking cold. Like, cold to the point that you can spend 5 minutes outside, and like your entire, like any exposed skin is just going to dry up completely, and then you're just going to be miserable. And my car, if you didn't know, was a used car. So there was a previous owner, and I hadn't had any issues with the car up until like last week. And I knew that because of the cold, it had some like issues turning on. So like I'd go in, and like I put my foot on the brake, and then and this is the only thing I don't like about Kevin. Yes, my car is named Kevin. The only thing I don't like about Kevin is that the ignition is a button. So it's not like when you have a normal key and you can just like, it's like just like hoping the best that the button is going to work. And So I put my foot on the brake and I'm like, hit the button and it's like, and just nothing. And I'm like, okay, it's cold outside. It was like minus 17 degrees Celsius. Probably felt a lot colder than that. So I'm like, okay, like I'm gonna give it some time. And then I go again and it's like, and I'm like, uh-oh, this is not good. And then like the third time, like I hit it again. Sorry, my voice is terrible right now because it's something I'll get to later because it's just the whole thing of the week. But pretty much what happened, like the third time that I hit the button, is just like the needle with like the speedometer just like went all the way back, and then just like the radio turned on, and I'm like, that's not good. So then like I go back in and like I'm like calling my dad and I'm like, hey, like the car won't turn on, like what do I do? And then he's like, oh, like is it like the battery? And I'm like, I don't know, like and then I'm just telling him like, oh, it's been cold, so like sometimes like I know it like takes some time to turn on when it's cold. And then he's like, well, like you might want to have to call roadside assistance, to help you start the car. And I'm like, I'll just do it Monday, like before I go to work. So then I'm like freaking out, like after I end the call with him, because I'm like, oh my God, if the car doesn't turn on tomorrow, then I'm just gonna be like, oh Jesus, that was very uncomfortable. I'm like, if the car doesn't turn on tomorrow, then it's just gonna be like, I'm gonna be late to work. And like I'm just like hoping like everything goes fine. And like I wake up on Monday morning and whoa, that was epic. Oh my God, it's coming back. Sorry, I swear I have the attention span of a goldfish. But basically like I wake up Monday morning and I'm like, okay, like I'm getting ready, eating my breakfast and everything. And I went out to like check on my car. I think it was like 6:30, which is the earliest I've ever done that, because I'm like, if it's cold and it's like there's ice on the car, then I have to like scrape it off and all that stuff. And I go outside and I like try turning it on, nothing. And I'm like, God damn it. I'm just like, of course, had to be. It's just, of course. So then I just like started like calling roadside, and I'm like, hi, like, and they ask for all the stuff about the car. And then they tell me like, yeah, it'll be 60 to 90 minutes. And I'm like, awesome. Great. So then I'm like calling my manager, and I'm like, hey, like, no, I texted him. I'm like, hey, my car's being a bitch and I'm gonna be like an hour and a half late to work. Is there anything like you want me to do from home? And he's like, no, I don't think there's much you can do. And I'm like, okay, cool. So then I just told him like, I'll keep you posted if I end up arriving at work earlier than expected. And like I think the entire time I was like, what should I do? Like I have an hour to myself. What should I do? And then I'm like, making sure like, so the first thing I did is like I go on my laptop and I'm like checking like, okay, like the episode, like everything is set up for everything to be uploaded, we're all fine. And then I go to my couch and I'm just like sitting there. I'm like, let's watch The Last of Us. Like the most recent episode just came out and like I haven't watched it. So like I'm just going to watch it. And then I started watching it and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to take a nap. So I took a nap at 7 a.m. I had just woken up 2 hours ago and I was already taking a nap because I was tired already, which just, speaks to burnout. But pretty much that like the roadside guy like arrived at my house, and like he's like telling me and like he's talking to me about like the battery, and like maybe it's like it's dirty, blah 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 blah. So like we look at the battery and that was filthy. Like it was nasty. It was like so disgusting. So like he cleans it and everything, and like he helps me start the car, and then he like tests like the battery, like if it's good or not. Because like he asked me like, how old is the battery? And I'm like, I have no clue. And the more I progress in my adulthood, I realize that there are a lot of unanswered questions about my car that I'm starting to realize 6 months after getting it. Like the whole thing with the AC and all that stuff. So just don't even get me started with the AC. But pretty much, like he said that the battery was fine, like the battery life, and I'm like, oh, okay, then I don't know, it's probably the cold weather. And then like I get to work, and then like I was talking to my boss, and I'm like, yeah, like just telling him about the car, blah blah blah, and he's just like, you know what, let's go check it like before we before you leave. And I'm like, okay. And then as soon as I try turning it on, he's like, yeah, your battery's dead, you need a new one. And I'm like, I was like, okay, like which one should I get? You know, I'm just like all embarrassed because I'm like, I have no clue. I don't know anything about cars. I don't know anything. I don't even know how to change my oil. And I'm just like, you know, maybe like, could you just like give me lessons as to like how to change the oil, how to change the tire? And if you're gonna give me shit for not knowing how to change the oil or how to change a tire, I'll just be honest with you. Give me all the shit. I don't care. I'll say like, the reason I don't know how to do all of that stuff is A, I just got my license last July, and B, I haven't been home in 4 years for me to be learning all of that stuff. And like I just got like, you know, my first car recently, so like this is all brand new to me. So, you know, in the comments, just give me shit, call me names, I don't care, I'll still read them, but whatever. So like I'm just like, I just need like a crash course on like everything with the car. That's pretty much it. And then like he showed me like what battery to get and everything, and I'm so thankful, because honestly, if it weren't for him, I'd be, who knows where I'd be right now. And then like I go to AutoZone, and I'm just like there, and I'm like, hey, like my battery, I need a new battery, like, you know, like this is like the one they recommended, and like, do you have it in stock? So like, you know, they helped me put it in and everything. And I'm just like, okay, it was $200 out of my pocket. But I'm like, you know what? Like, it's an expense that I had to do. Like, what am I going to do, right? And next thing I know, I'm just like cruising on the car, and I'm like, okay, like we're fine. Like, you know, we have a battery, like that's good. And then I'm just like started to think as to like, what other stuff should I like, you know, maintenance on the car and everything. Because there's like my car has a sticker on the inside that says like 69,000 miles in, like, you know, to do like an oil change and like maintenance and stuff. And then like the dealer, they told me like, oh, like once you hit like 70,000 miles, it's like recommended maintenance on the car. So I'm just like, okay, like I'm playing with the settings in the car, and like, you know, checking like what stuff, because like I was surprised, like, you know, the battery light didn't show up, or like I don't have, like, I wonder like if it's like something that I have to set up, like the check engine light or something like that. So then like I'm just like on the settings in my car, and I'm like, all of the lights are off, and I'm like, bitch, then why, like why do I have a dashboard that's supposed to show me all of the lights, and the settings tell me that all of those are off? Like, you know, like, huh? And I was just like, okay, fine. So then like, I think one of like the options like they give you is that you can, like when you want to rotate the tires, like how many miles in. And the other thing I think is like maintenance and tire change or something like that. So I'm just like, okay, you know, we're just going to put it in so that it reminds me that once I hit 69,000 miles, like I go in and do that. And I'm just like putting it in, and I'm like, okay, fine. Like, this gives me some reassurance. Everything should be fine. I'm glad that the dealer is like close by, so like I can just call them and be like, hey, like I have this issue with the car. And yeah, so Kevin is no longer being a little bitch, so that's good. And yeah, the rest of the week, work, I feel like after Monday, I was like, you know what? Like, yeah, the week started off pretty bad. It can't get any worse, like it can only go up from here. So then, like, that whole thing with like the car battery just threw my entire week. It was like thrown off so much because my running schedule was off because I didn't run on Monday, which is a day that I typically run. So I was like, all right, screw that. We're going to do groceries on Monday now. So like I did my groceries and everything. And then I think no, I didn't run on Tuesday, did I? I don't know if, intermission, let me check the days that I ran. Because I know I couldn't run as much as I wanted to because it's freezing cold, and it's like your joints hurt, literally. It's the worst. So I ran on January 31st. When was that? What day was the 31st? So sorry. Okay, so I ran on Tuesday. I did a 35-minute run, which was fine. I did like 3.6 miles because it was very cold. I think the weather was minus 11 degrees Celsius. It felt like minus 17 Celsius. I won't give you in Fahrenheit. I don't use Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit is stupid. And then I ran the next day, February 1st. It was a 30-minute run, and I did 2.9 miles, and like disclaimer, like the fact that my miles are not the fastest is because it's very cold and it takes me longer to warm up, and I'm running, like after work. It was minus 1 degree Celsius and it felt like minus 6. So, it was a little warmer, but and this was my mistake. After that run, I should have listened to my body because I felt like my knee gave out when I was about to finish that run, and I'm like, whoa, like this is like what's going on, and I'm like, okay, like it's probably just like it's cold, like my joints. I haven't been able to warm up that much because like it takes longer to warm up because it's just so cold, and like the wind, like the wind makes it colder, so it's a lot harder and stuff. So I'm just like sitting there running. Yeah, I'm moving, just sitting down, and then like I realized, like I go back home and I'm like, I'm walking fine, like it doesn't hurt. And then I'm like, okay, it's fine. And then on Friday, I was like, you know what? Like, no, Thursday, I was like, I'm not going to run today. I'm just going to wait till Friday to, get like a quick run in. Probably going to do it indoors because like I hate running indoors. I hate running indoor track or indoor treadmills because it's just boring. But it's been so cold that I was like, okay, fine. We're going to do an indoor run, even though I don't want to, but I'll do it. And then like it was a speed run on Friday, and like I felt fine, like my knee felt fine. But then like towards the end, I felt like it felt very weak, and I'm like, interesting, okay. And then I was like debating if I wanted to run on Saturday because it was a 15K, which is 9.3 miles. And I was like, like, should I, like, if it's nice enough, like, I should take advantage of it, but I also should listen to my body. And, if it's telling me, like, hey, don't run because you could get injured. My dumb ass decided to go out. And I was like, but you know what? I'm going to put enough layers because, like, typically when it's cold, I just run with, like, tights and then a short on top of it. just to like, you know, keep me warm and protect me from the wind. And this time I was like, I'm gonna put tights, I'm gonna put joggers on top, and then we're gonna go out. And I felt warm and everything was fine, but I think like at around mile 3, so it's still pretty early, my knee just felt like it was in so much pain. And I'm like, okay, like let's just lap back, you know, to head home. And I think it was like I think I wasn't able to finish the run at all because it was just like, it was so painful. Like I think I did like 7 miles or something like that, and I was just so discouraged. I'm like, I don't want to get injured. And then like, but then I figured, I'm like, I'm still like over 2 months from the race, so like I can manage, you know, taking a week off and just like treating it and like taking care of it, because I don't want to make it worse. And I feel like, I think it just like derived from my ankle injury on my left leg, because just like my whole left leg is so messed up. So like I'm gonna do like rehab on it and everything, and like take care of it, because like right now I'm wearing a brace on my knee, and it provides stability, but I think like it's just like it's been so weak that it just feels like jello. And it's just like this is my right knee and this is my left knee. Wait, you guys see it? Yeah. Wait. Yes. So this is my left knee, and it's just like so wiggly, and my right knee is like, you know, pretty strong. And yeah, it's just frustrating, because I'm like, I want to run and like I want to, you know, be outside and everything, but I'm like, I can't. Like it's just, I don't want to force it, or I don't want to get more injured. And you know, fingers crossed that I'm still able to train and like everything is fine and like everything heals fine. Because I'm excited. I want to like I know I've said a lot about the race already, and it's just like I really want to go to Nashville and like run the race there. It's gonna be so much fun. And yesterday, after my failed attempt at a 15K, I drove to Peoria to visit my friends, and we were talking about the trip and everything. And because I'm hoping to like a boys trip, you know, use the marathon as a boys trip. And we were talking about the trip and everything. And well, that was it. We talked about the trip. And I'm just excited. Like I really hope, you know, like they're like that I'm able to keep training and everything. But at the same time, I'm like, well, if I'm not able to run it, then I know in May there's one in Cleveland, so you know, like that could also work. And yeah, I don't know, like I've been debating like what I should do next, if I should like, because I don't feel rushed to run in Nashville, but it would just be like a nice experience, because like I want to run one as soon as possible, but still have enough time to train. But Cleveland would also be like a nice, you know, because it's May, it's like the start of the summer and everything. So we'll see how all of that goes. But yeah, Peoria was pretty fun, you know, going back to good old Dirty P. It's funny because I told them, I was like, I'm going to Peoria to run errands. So, you know, like I have to buy, I think I went with the purpose of buying a book, and I wanted to look at some furniture for the house and everything. And they were like, oh, like, you know, like we bought all of our stuff. Like we don't need to, we're not going to buy anything, blah, blah, blah. And we went to Walmart and Target, and they were the ones that bought stuff. I'm like, I haven't found anything that I need. And then I was like, I just want to go to Barnes and Noble. And we go to Barnes and Noble, and it's just, I swear, Barnes and Noble is just like a sophisticated Walmart, because it has everything. Like I didn't know they had music stuff and everything. And so we went to like the music section first, and I'm just like looking at all of the vinyls. Like my first instinct, you guessed it right, was to go see if they had any Harry Styles stuff, which by the way, I'm holding hands, you know, with like my group here. We're manifesting that Harry Styles clean sweeps at the Grammys today and just takes all of the awards that he's been nominated for. I'm in. But just lighting up candles and be like, all right, we're manifesting that Harry Styles wins tonight. But yeah, you guessed it. I'm recording right before the Grammys. Because you best believe I'm gonna watch my boy perform live. And they had all three of his vinyls, and I'm like, I just want to buy them. And they also had both of Louis Tomlinson's, and I'm just like, I should buy them. Like, I want to buy them, but I'm like, no, this is just an impulse buy. Like, you don't need them. You don't even have a record player. Like, why would you buy a vinyl? You know, like, it's just you're just gonna waste your money. Like, save your money and, like, you know, use it on running stuff and everything. So I feel like I've been maturing a lot, and like, I'm proud of myself because I can say no with more. I say no to a lot of things, you know, like, I'm being smarter with my purchases. So, and then, like, I found, they had Made in the EAM by One Direction. And I sent the picture to my sister, and she's like, oh my God, you would get it for me and I'll pay it for you later. And I'm like, okay, but you better pay me for this, because it was like 30 something bucks. And I'm like, okay, you better pay me for it. And then, like, my friend, he's like, how is she gonna get it? I'm like, I don't know, but if she doesn't pay me for it, I'm keeping it, because I still like that album. So, you know, like, for now, it's just gonna be sitting as decoration and right here. But, you know, and then, like, we made, with my friends, we were like, one of my friends, he was saying, like, okay, next time when you come back in April, because I realized, like, I can only go to Peoria once a month, because I'm just spending money, like, it's just, you know, bad. But he was saying, like, okay, next time you come to Peoria in April, like, we'll save up and we'll buy a record player, and, like, we'll buy all the vinyls, and, like, we'll just have a sesh. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. And yeah, it was just like, I don't know, like, I feel like vinyl, the whole vinyl era is, like, so outdated now. I know, like, some people do like vinyls because, like, you know, like, they actually listen. I generally only know two people that collect vinyls and, like, actually listen to them. And, you know, that's cool. But I know, like, a lot of people just, like, collect them and, like, don't actually use them. And it's just, like, in that, if you're just, like, doing it because, like, you know, you're trying to, like, be cool and, like, be part of, like, ooh, like, the trends of, like, collecting vinyls and stuff, I'm like, you know, and because I don't like the, like, at least now, like, you know, like, being an adult and everything, like, I feel like wasting money or, like, buying stuff and, like, not really using them, to me, is like, you know, like, even, like, when I was buying the camera, I was like, do I really want to spend money on the camera? And I'm like, well, like, it's not like I won't use it. Like, I'm gonna use it for the podcast. I'm gonna use it pretty often. Or even, like whenever I buy running shoes, I'm always like, I might, like, should I really, like, buy them? But then I'm like, well, like, I run 5 days a week, and, you know, like, I'm gonna be running races and stuff. So then I'm like, okay, like, it's investing. So anything, like, I feel like if it's like an investment, I'll do it, and, like, I don't mind spending the money. But if it's something like, for example, like, why was I gonna buy all of Harry Styles vinyls if I don't even have a record player? Like, whenever I listen to music, I just play it out of my phone, and I have, like, my earbuds, because it's kind of inconvenient that I live in a townhome and I have neighbors, like, behind me. So, you know, like, I can't just be blasting music. But I only do it in the bathroom when I'm showering. But pretty much, like, you know, like, I wouldn't be able to have, like, a record player. I could if I wanted to, but I wouldn't really use it, because, like, I don't know, like, if I'm listening to music, I'm cooking or something, or doing something around the house. So yeah, it was like, it wouldn't be like a smart choice or a smart decision to do. And I feel like the CD player is a lot better, or even, like, you know, just having, like, the CD collection, because it's smaller, it's cheaper, I will say they did have all of One Direction's CDs, so I was very tempted. I was very tempted to buy. I think they had Midnight Memories, Made in the AM, and Take Me Home, and I was very tempted to buy them, but I'm like, no, don't buy them until you buy a CD player, because then that's a whole different thing. Or like, I kind of want to buy like the old like CD players, but like, you know, you plug in the earbuds and stuff, because that would be cool. That would be sick. Imagine walking in the airport like that. That would be so cool. Like everyone's like, oh my god, like, is that a CD player strapped to his hip? And I'm like, yeah, it is, baby girl. But yeah, and then I ended up buying 2 books at Barnes and Noble. I realized that I need to practice my Spanish more. So I bought 1 book in Spanish, The Alchemist, which is originally in Spanish, because I figured like I'm losing my Spanish, and I'm also kind of like losing my English, even though I use my English every day. But I feel like my accent is just like really, really coming off like sometimes. So I feel like I need to like practice reading more stuff in English, and also like reading more stuff in Spanish, because like I feel like I'm losing my Spanish. I don't really use it to interact with people here, so it's always like, you know, like I don't want to lose it. Like it's like, that's, I always say like I don't have a first language anymore. I have 2 second languages, but that's it. Because like I am fluent in both, but I don't feel like confident, or like I used to not make as many grammatical mistakes in both English and Spanish before I came to college. Ever since ever since like I came to the States to do school and everything, like it's just been terrible. And yeah, I don't know, like I've just been thinking a lot about just like wanting to, and like for example, like the book, right? Like I know how I said earlier about like the whole like, oh, investing money and like saving money and all that stuff, but even like the book, I wasn't hesitant to spend money on them, because I'm like, I'm investing on like my brain, and you know, like it's not like I know like I'll read them because like I paid money for them, you know. And it's also like, you know, you're building your brain, you're becoming more intellectual, you know, you're growing as a person. And I feel like it'll just be, you know, like a nice way to grow as a person, because I feel like that's one of my goals for 2023, is just to grow as a person. Not only like in the physical aspect of like, you know, a healthier lifestyle, but also like in the intellectual side of like, okay, what am I investing my time into and all that stuff. And the book in English was I don't remember what it's called. Like I have them sitting there, but I don't want to move so far away. Whatever, I'll probably mention it next week in the next episode. But yeah, I'm excited, you know, to read a book in English and a book in Spanish at the same time. It'll be a nice, you know, a good balance. And then when I was heading out of Peoria, I was like, you know what, I haven't been to Bradley in a while. So I hit up a friend and I was like, yo, like I'm in the area, like, do you want to like talk? And then like it was nice, you know, like going back to like just, you know, just like talk. It had been a while since like I had gone back to campus, like actual campus, and yeah, it was like, I don't know, a lot of memories came back, especially around this time of year. Valentine's Day is just it's like the worst. And it's just you know, like Valentine's always makes me want to like just but yeah, Valentine's is in a week. The Super Bowl is in a week. I don't know, like I feel like Valentine's is just such a dumb holiday, but I also want to celebrate it. You know, like I told some of my closest friends, I was like, yo, if I ever bring up anything about like, oh, I'm talking to this girl, or like, oh, like you should set me up with someone, or like, oh, like this girl is like so amazing, like, you know, like should I talk to her or something? I need you to stop me, because 2023 is the year of self-growth and focus, and we're going to be selfish, and we're not going to open up ourselves to a relationship because we don't have time for that. We have our priorities straight, and it's ourselves. So yeah, you know, it's going to be interesting to see pretty much all of social media and Instagram and be like, here I am with my boo. Oh my God, he gave me flowers. And I'm like, yeah, girl, he's cheating on you on the side. But hey, you know, you do you, whatever. Actually, I don't know anyone that's going through that. It's just something I threw out in the air. That would be so messed up. But did they find out that their partner's cheating on them through this podcast? I'm kidding. I don't talk to that many people for me to know, like, oh yeah, like she's totally cheating on him. But yeah, I don't know, Valentine's, it's always such a like a weird time in the year, because like if you're single, it's either like make or break for you, because like you could like, you know, like ask someone out and be like, yo, like, do you want to do something at Valentine's? Like, oh, like, I know you're single as well, and like I was wondering if like wanted to do something, blah 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 blah. Like, you know, nothing serious, like, you know, just like grabbing coffee or like going out to eat or something like that. But it could also be like, you could just be miserable and be like, oh my God, like everyone's like in a relationship and like they're doing something for Valentine's and no one asked me out, and it was not me, just like opening up about my current situation. But no, I'm joking. I'm not like that. I'm not like that now. But you know, it's just like always hard not to compare yourself to other people. And I feel like this year, I feel a lot more strong. A lot stronger in where I am as a person, you know, given like the circumstances of like past relationships and everything. And I'm also kind of glad that I'm living in such a remote area, because all I do pretty much is just like work on the podcast and like be at home, go running, and then that's about it. So like I'm not really like, the chances of me finding someone like meeting them in person and like, you know, starting something are minimal. It's like probably less than 1%, and I take that because it just, you know, it avoids, you know, getting your heart broken and, you know, just like pretty much wasting your time. Because like I don't, and I just hate that like right now, like the only way if I, you know, something were to start is through social media or like strictly texting, not really like doing stuff in person. So I'm just like, it's just an immediate, like, I don't want that. So it's kind of nice, you know, it's kind of like moving here had its blessings in disguise, and it took me some time to see them. But now, like, the more like I spend time here, I'm starting to, you know, be more thankful for my current situation. Because like, for example, like, okay, I'm going to paint a picture for you right now, a picture with words. The beauty of a podcast. Pretty much. Wait, because my throat is killing me because of last night. Because I did a lot of singing. Jesus, get your head out of the gutter, people. Pretty much, this is a family show. Or is it? Probably only 2 people will get that, but you're the best. Anyway, where was I? Oh, okay. So last night I was driving back from Peoria, and it was like 11 p.m. And I was like, I don't want to buy an energy drink because then I'm gonna get all jittery and stuff. So typically, like if I want to wake up while I'm driving. It's not like I'm driving asleep. That would be such a cool thing. Like safely driving asleep, you're just like, but you're still like, following all the laws and everything without getting into accidents. That would be such a cool thing. $1 million idea right there. Anyway, last night, I was like tired on the drive back, so I was like, I need to play like some music, to wake me up. And so, no, I didn't listen to Harry Styles. I started with Fine Line, but then I was like, no, like I need like music that's gonna, make me want to shout the lyrics like full volume. And I was like, duh, Faith in the Future, duh. So like I started playing the album. Every song, man, every song is just like, I think it was Bigger Than Me. I was like, it's bigger than me, and I was just like, sorry, I guess I have my phone on the side. It was just like so bad, and I had so much fun though, and it just made me think a lot about like my past and like my growth as a person in the past, like, I don't know, like 8 months since I graduated college. And it was just like, it felt like there was no one on the road. It was just me. Like I could have literally gotten kidnapped or gotten into an accident and no one would have known. But I'm here in one piece, which I'm thankful for. And it was just such a cathartic experience, because I feel like that's one of like the things that I don't like, which is like very few things that I don't like about like Harry Styles music. It's like there aren't any songs like, it makes you like scream the lyrics and like feel like, and like that's kind of like why I like Louis Tomlinson's. And it's just like, it was so cathartic. Like if you've never done it, like okay, I'm not saying like you have to do it with like Faith in the Future or whatever, but like just find an album or find music that makes you feel. I feel like you have to do it with an album, because like albums are set up in a specific way, like that the artist meant, because like it's to tell something or like make you feel a certain type of way. And I feel like a playlist really doesn't do justice. Like you have to like pick an album, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, like pick an album that is gonna like make you just want to like scream and just like let everything out. And it just felt so relaxing afterwards. I was like, wow, I barely have a voice, but it was so nice. It was like I really needed that. And I don't know, because like like you always think like, oh, I'm doing great, like like I hadn't been feeling this good in a while, everything is going great, but deep down there is something you're not acknowledging. And then like you listen to music, at least for me, I listen to music and I'm like, just like, oh, like I had no idea I was feeling this way. Like I had no idea I was resonating so much to this song. But yeah, it was like, it was so nice. It was so good. Like I enjoyed it a lot. And then I got home at like midnight, almost like 12:30, and 30 past midnight. And then I went to bed at like 2 a.m. Because I was recapping on The Bachelor, which of course I'm gonna talk about The Bachelor, but yeah, it was a very nice. I really needed that, like, to be honest. It was so nice. But yeah, now I'm here. I kind of like this episode. I don't know why. Like there's nothing like, oh, but like I really enjoyed it. But yeah, let's get to The Bachelor before we wrap up. This is going to be the first episode this season that I finish in under an hour. So anyway, The Bachelor week 2. Man, my boy Zach, he's kissing everyone left, right, and center. And I said this on my Instagram stories. I was like, to me, it just makes me uncomfortable knowing, like, because, like, it's like all of these women, you know, they're like building a relationship with him and like getting emotionally attached to him, and like he is kissing them, they are kissing him. I'm not jealous at all, but you know, like, it's kind of like I don't know why. I don't know if it's because like I'm such like a good person that I wouldn't do that unless I wasn't the Bachelor. Of course, if I was the Bachelor, I was the Bachelor, bro. You say less. But it's just weird. I don't know why. Because like I don't know if it's because like my brain thinks of it as like if it were like in a social situation, like a real life, like, oh, let's say like he's out at a bar or something and he's doing that, that would be terrible. But if that's like how the game is played, I know The Bachelor's not a game, but if that's how it's played, then I guess it makes sense. But it's just weird because like then like I don't know why, like I take it as like he's giving them a false sense of hope if he's kissing all of them, like, you know. I haven't watched previous seasons, so I don't know if like that's just like how it always is, or if like he is like an anomaly or whatever. But yeah, it's just weird. I mean, and it's sad like seeing like the women get their hopes high, and then like when it's the rose ceremony, like he doesn't give it to one of them, and then like they're crying, and I'm like, no, don't cry, because then like I'm gonna cry, and then if I cry, then I'm just gonna get sad, and I don't want to get sad. But it was just, I'm so sad because like two of the girls that I was rooting for didn't make it past the second rose ceremony, and I was just like so frustrated. And oh yeah, you know, there wasn't a spoiler warning because I'm not gonna spoil anything. But they had bad bitch energy because my girl I don't know how to pronounce her name, Latto, Latto. Yeah, they had like a group date, and like she was in it. Oh my god, I swear this train will be the end of me. And then what is that? I don't know. And then Christina went on a one-on-one with Zach, which was kind of like okay, and it just keeps adding to the whole thing of like I feel like it's rigged for her to have an advantage, because like what are the odds that, you know, like the one person that has a first and last name and then in the show is the one that gets to have the one-on-one first? A head scratcher, you know, double head scratcher. I don't know. I just found it pretty interesting that, you know, like the one that has like the presence in social media is the one that gets the first one-on-one. But hey, that was just me. But yeah, it was just I'm intrigued because it's just gonna get a lot better. I think 3 women didn't make it past. Was it 3 or 4? I think it was 3. But we'll see. Week 3 is coming out tomorrow, I believe. Probably watch it again on Friday. But yeah. Oh, also people. Okay, so I recently changed my background on my phone to a picture of me running because I'm like, why not? You know, like I'm proud of it. It's a sick photo. It's pretty much like the picture of the race, and like I look sick. Look at that. Okay, obviously you can't see the in person. It looks a lot better, but someone was like, why do you have a picture of yourself? I'm like, because why wouldn't I? Like, people have pictures of athletes as their background, you know, like they look up to them, or like, you know, oh wait, it's out of focus. Okay. Like why wouldn't I have a picture of myself if like I'm proud of myself, you know? it's not because I'm arrogant or like because I look sick or whatever. I do look sick, but it's a good picture, and I feel like I need, considering like the phone it's something that you look very consistently throughout the day. I need some of like the motivation to keep training, and I don't get that from like having like aesthetic wallpapers, or like I feel like quote wallpapers are too cheesy, or like I don't want like just like a plain color, because like then that's just boring. And I never have pictures of myself, and I love how I look in that picture, because I look like 20 weeks of hard work paid off. And yeah, so if you have a problem with my wallpaper, cry about it, okay? I don't care. But yeah, that was it for episode 53 of Pretty Decent. Thank you for joining me in this beautiful, beautiful afternoon. I hope you have a great, happy day, because I don't know when you're watching this or listening to this, but I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great week, and take care. Also, subscribe. Check the little bell. Leave a comment. Follow the podcast on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram. Also, I am pissed at Facebook Meta, because all of the bots, man, that just like the stories, it's just spam accounts and stuff like that. It's so frustrating. It's just I hope like a new social media platform comes out and like just basically dethrones Instagram, because Instagram is terrible. I hate Instagram, and Snapchat as well. Like I need like there should be like a better platform, because Twitter is also hitting the shitters, but that's because of Elon. But yeah, thank you guys for supporting the podcast. It means a lot to me, and I love you all. Take care. I'll see you guys pretty soon for the Valentine's special. That's gonna be fun. All of my single people will join forces. Also, one final prayer to the recording the music people, manifesting that Harry Styles wins all of the Grammys he's nominated for later today. And hopefully by the time, you were watching this, he is like a multi-Grammy award winner. But yeah, take care, guys. I'll see you guys when I see you. And this was Pretty Decent episode 53. Take care. I'll see you guys real soon. Peace.